Howdy, 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 Todd.
What's going on, buddy? How's it going?
Nothing much. Doing all right, doing all right. So we got a couple
Good
folks
deal.
already
Good.
jumping on.
Yeah, we've got
Scott
five on here
Gibbons,
already.
what's up, Robert? Yeah. So Scott Gibbons, reached out to you. Hopefully, you got squared away with the KBF prize that you won, and so did Timothy. So let us know if everything went smoothly with that, and we'll get you taken care of. Yeah.
So
Hello,
Scott
Amy,
Gibbons,
Chris
Robert
Parker.
Phillips, Amy Brown, Chris Parker. Welcome, everyone.
If you guys are watching, drop a comment below. Say what's up, and yeah, well, if you have any questions throughout this time, utilize that chat group there to ask your questions, and we'll be sure to answer them to the best of our ability. Again, October is quickly approaching, so we're going to be kicking off the 2024 season pretty quick.
And
What's
people
going
are
on,
jumping
Evan?
on here left and right.
Albert, I got your message. You just signed up. We appreciate the support, and we look forward to seeing you out there at the tournaments this year. So, just saw
Yes,
your message.
sir.
I was about to respond back to him. Evan, what's going on, sir?
Timothy,
Timothy,
Mr.
congrats
Myers.
on Timothy won another winner of our last giveaway for the KBF membership. I think it was the lifetime membership he won. So
Congrats.
yeah, it's awesome.
Excellent.
So yeah, and also if you guys are watching, go ahead and hit that like button to give us some likes so that we can use that whenever we are out there supporting or asking for support from our sponsors. They definitely look at our social media footprint to make sure that we can be something valuable to their companies as well. So we're going to start bringing on a lot more of our sponsors here, some of our new sponsors that are just now hopping on board with us this year. We're going to start working out on getting a schedule put together on Thursday nights of who and when and what we're going to be putting on and broadcasting, so that you guys know well in advance, who's going to be on our podcast on these Thursday nights. So how it's going to go from here on out is, after this live closes on Thursday, by the time Friday morning rolls around, there's already going to be the next live scheduled on Facebook, so you guys can kind of schedule it, put it a part of your schedule, and we'll kind of say, hey, this is the order of events, or this is what we're going to be talking about too. So you guys can, formulate your questions throughout the week, or if you have a question, always send us a message, and we'll be sure to get back to you as quick as we can. Scott, what's going on, sir? So yeah, this afternoon, or this evening, I should say. It's going to be quick. It's myself and Todd. Sean and Chris are a little under the weather, so they're probably watching, but they're not going to hop on. We don't want them to spread their germs virtually. So just if you're reach out to them and let them know that you're thinking about them. They're pretty bad under the weather, so hopefully they get to feeling better here soon, so we can go fishing this weekend. So yeah. But this afternoon, or this evening, again, sorry, we're going to cover again. If you guys notice, or if you guys aren't members yet and you aren't on the FKBT members page, I just now shared a link with Chad Hoover. He just posted KBF 2024 update for the national championship, for the trail and challenge series championship. And he did about an hour video on what the KBF is going to look like moving forward. I shared that on our members only page. And in light of that, we are going to talk about some of what our club's KBF qualification standards are, and for 19 Florida Kayak Bass Trail anglers qualified for the KBF National Championship in 2024. We're going to post those names here in the next couple days, but we'll kind of go over what those qualification standards were, and how and why you got selected to represent our club at the KBF National Championship. So based on the standards we set, there was 19 anglers that qualified. So that's good. That's awesome. And we're looking forward to hopefully all 19 of you guys going up there to, do well wherever that national championship is held. It will not be in 2023. It will be in 2024. So you got some time to plan. Also, with that, if you guys also haven't seen, Chad Hoover posted the 2023 Challenge Series, Invitational, and Trail Series qualifications, National Championship qualifications. I also shared those on our Facebook or our social media platforms. So if you fish in those Challenge Series or you fish in any of the trail events, go take a look at that PDF. You may have qualified for the Challenge Series and Trail Series Championship that's taking place in October in a month or so, literally almost a month, a full month away. No, 2 months. 2 months away. It's October 19th, 20th, and then the 21st is the 10th. So you guys still have time to plan that trip as well. So more to come on that. We will post the names of those that qualified here in the next day or two for you guys, and we will notify you of that then. Another order of business that we're going to talk about. Our last video, we covered all of the rule updates for the 2024 season. Again, we are not posting those or making those the rules as of right now for the monthlies. The rules that we discussed, the changes that were made, will not go into effect until October. The 1st of October is when those rules will go into effect. So continue to do what you've been doing, and we will do another brief recap on the rule updates on our first captain's meeting to make sure everyone is squared away. But if you're watching this and you didn't watch our last live from last Thursday, please go back, watch that. It's a pretty informative video that captured all the changes for the FKBT in the 2024 season. Those rules, once they're published, can be found on our Facebook. They will be found on Fishing Chaos, and I'm going to send an email copy of those rules to every member through the Fishing Chaos messaging app. So you will have it there as well. Anytime a revision is done or added, I will send an updated version to make sure you guys are tracking what those rules changes are. So there shouldn't be any confusion, because the rules are the rules, and the folks that judge our tournaments will be following those. So make sure you're abiding by them so that we don't have any issues going into next season. I don't foresee that being an issue, Todd. This past year, we didn't have any major rule infractions or anything. Just take what we've implemented for this year, and just know that it's in the best interest of you guys in regards to safety, and putting you guys on bodies of water that is going to allow you to catch fish. That's every change that we made was with the kayak angler in mind, our members in mind, to make sure that we can provide the best experience for you guys out on the water. So when you come and fish our events, you're going to catch fish, or you're going to have the opportunity to. So hope you guys understand that. We do not make these changes lightly. A lot of time, effort, and energy has been spent between myself, Todd, Chris Clutter, Sean, countless hours in making sure that we provide you guys with a top class experience out on the water. So but yeah, Todd, you want to talk a little bit about the sponsors?
Yeah. So we've been working diligently to add some good sponsors for the club this year. I think last year for inaugural season, we had a great group of sponsors. A lot of prizes was given away. A lot of stuff was, at the championship and all throughout the year. So our goal is to exceed last year's sponsorships. And so we've been working really, really hard. We've added some new sponsors this year. If you look at the little banner ticker at the bottom of the page, you'll see a lot of them. But what we'll do is I'll run through some of them real quick. Some of them we don't have the full amount of what they're going to be giving to the club, but we know that they're on board. And as soon as we actually, finalize what all of it is, we will definitely put that out on the members only page. So of course we've got Strike King's going to be on board, Dakota Lithium, 13 Fishing, Torpedo is the new one that we've added this year. And we've got just received a nice little box of goodies from them. So Torpedo is going to be providing We're going to have some swag that we can give away at each meetup afterwards. And then we've a um, got a $250 gift certificates that they have provided us that goes towards a Torpedo motor. And those are going to go to the first place winners, I think right now is what we've decided on. So if
Hey,
you win yeah,
we got a question here too from Zechariah
okay.
about sponsors.
Does the club have a lithium battery sponsor or codes? So Dakota Lithium has been sponsoring our club last year. Um, they have donated us with batteries. As of right now, we do not have a discount code for them, but we're working on that.
Yeah,
So
that's one of the sponsors where we're still working on the fine details on what level they're going to be able to support us. The weird thing with our club is we started in 2022, went into 20 most all of 2023, and we're starting our season back up at the tail end of the year whenever a lot of these companies have already spent their sponsorship money for fiscal year 23, so they're not going to be able to really get back to us until their fiscal 24 year or their 24 fiscal year is kind of set aside. So we're just waiting for those budget meetings to kind of happen so that they can tell us, hey, this is what we can provide you with this year. So
absolutely. But I do know that Dakota should, from my understanding, they're going to be on with us this year again. They enjoyed being on last year, and so we're just finalizing all the products that we will be receiving from them to be able to give out at prizes. And then, like I said, we're also trying to work on some other things with them. Torrent Outdoors is still on again with us this year. Phenomenal, um, small mom and pop, bait company that is growing left and right. And, one of the cool things, I talked to John, I guess it was last week or week before last, just following up with him. And they've got some new baits in the works that they'll be presenting soon. So we'll have him
we're
back
gonna
on the
have him
show.
on. Yeah,
Yeah. So last year, if you listen to it, I mean, he's a great guy, does a great job, and just loves helping and supporting the fishing industry. But I mean, one of his big passions is helping the youth. He does a lot for the high school kids and stuff. So
yeah,
we're
and
happy to have them
his
back
new
on board.
baits are going to be are really really good. So we're excited. We'll definitely bring him on, have him showcase them, and then put some of them in your guys' hands so y'all can go out there and catch some big fish with them. So I know me and
Absolutely.
Sean has been using them, and we wear them out. We're going to be using them up in Gunnersville in the next couple days when we go up there, try to catch some spotted or some of the smallmouths up there. So yeah.
Yeah, it's they're phenomenal baits. They really work well. So let's see, where were we? So Torrent Outdoors, Yak Attack. I know we're working on getting some more
Discount
gift
codes.
cards from them.
Yep.
And Road Gear, we've got discount codes for them. That's staying the same as it was last year. Ego Fishing is a new one that we've added on. So we've already got some prize packs from them that's
Yep.
going to be going into our championship and throughout the year as
Yeah,
well.
real quick on that, I want to thank Curtis Yaklovich. He's watching right now. Thank you for that point of contact with the Ego Fishing Net. They sponsored the Slayers, and we were able to get in contact with those guys to get a POC, and they came through clutch, and they've given us a code, and they've given us two. They've given us 4 items to give away at the championship. I'm not going to disclose what necessarily they are, but there's some good items. You guys are going to love it. So.
Absolutely. They're real good items. So, yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Curtis. We appreciate that very much. And yes, David Myers, I am wearing a Torpedo hat. So, pretty cool. Um, who else we got on here? Cross Kicks. They are new sponsor this year. They have given us a discount code that I think Chris has already shared with the group, but we're going to be creating a basically a Facebook banner post thing that we're going to pin to our members only page that will have all of our discount codes on them whenever we get them all compiled. Okay.
And if you are military, fire department, fire, police, past, present, or future, and you're interested in buying a pair of cross kicks, send me a message. There's a specific discount code that the owner of the cross kicks that I met at ICAST has given me the privilege to award to those members of our club that are past, present, military, or first responders. So reach out to me. I'll provide that to you, and you'll get a little. I think it's like 35% off your purchase. So,
what about us that are responding to emails like really quick and stuff like that?
The 20% off. He gave us the 20% off. If you guys are curious about how comfortable those cross kick shoes are, I'm telling you right now, I got 2 pairs. I have the Tetras and the 2.0s, and Chris Mitchell's posted a video with his Tetras and his 2.0s, and with this summer heat, my deck was at like 112 degrees is what it was showing Otter the other day. I put my Tetras on. Without those on, I couldn't stand up on my kayak. That's how hot it was. But my Tetras on, I just dip my feet in the water. It's like AC for your feet. Yes, the Tetras are wide and they're very comfortable. They have a cork sole, so it's like, and they're super breathable too. So if you have any questions, definitely you can watch Chris Mitchell's video. He did a special video on it, and he has his own coupon code. I think he's an affiliate of them now too with CrossKick. So if you do that, that will support him in a way. I'm a affiliate, but I'd much rather you guys use the club's code and support the club code on that. It's more than what I got anyways as an affiliate. So definitely, they're awesome. They definitely work in the summer. I can tell you that, with keeping my feet from burning up on the deck. So, and in the wintertime, I haven't used them in the winter yet, but I definitely love them in the summer. That's for sure. But, yeah, that's all I got.
Winter here is like summer, you know. So winter here is like summer everywhere else.
Yeah, the Tetras are awesome.
Yes. So next up is Spear Point hooks, performance hooks. They're a new sponsor this year, jumped on board, and they're going to be donating a gift card to our Big Bass deal. Each event. Bailey, I can't think of the other one that is the Toad
Thumper.
What is Toad Thumper?
Toad Thumper.
Yeah. So Toad Thumper, they are giving us as a club
BOGO.
a BOGO, a good deal there. So as a club, so we'll have a code for them that you buy one, get one. That's going to be a great deal. And those are some pretty freaking cool
frogs,
baits.
Man. Yeah,
we saw them at
frogs are on point. Yeah.
Yeah.
If y'all know anyone, if y'all know Danny Gann, you know he throws a frog, and we were talking with him at the ICAST station. Him and who else were we with? It was Danny, and then it was I forgot who was with him on the. Well, there was a couple of us there. We were looking at the Toad Thumper booth, man, and those frogs they're legit. I think they run like $10.99 a frog, and you get 2 of them for $10.99. They have some other soft plastics, I think, a couple variety different soft plastics, but they're known for their frogs and
some jigs, I think. Don't they have jigs as well?
It was Jason Denise that was talking good about them as well. He said he uses them, so we're excited to have them on. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, they got some really cool swim jigs and stuff too. If you're a jig person, they've got some really awesome jigs as well. So
for sure.
Next up on the list, I know that we're going to be getting a discount code from Yak Gadget. I just don't have it yet. So Yak Gadget has some really cool stuff for the kayak industry. they have for those of you that are venturing off into the live scope world, they have a
Yeah.
really cool live scope mount that they have come out with. So I would highly recommend you guys looking at that and checking it out, because I think it's going to dominate the market once it hits out
Hey, and
there.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, John. We met him at I met him for the first time at ICAST. Todd's known him for a little bit up in Tennessee. Awesome guy. Yes, people are saying, oh well, you have Yak Attack and you have Yak Gadget. We're giving you guys options. If you like Yak Attack, we have Yak Attack. They're giving us discount code or little coupon codes. Yak Gadget, he's like a DIY kayak, like he does it all by himself pretty much. But his live scope mount, we got to kind of test it and see it first at ICAST, and it's great. It changes the game for us live scope anglers, but it also is affordable. It will be affordable. There's Sniper Marine. There's all these other companies out there that are coming out with them, but they're expensive. This is gonna definitely give you the best bang for your buck. It's very robust. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be supporting it.
Yep.
Me and Sean are gonna be the first two, hopefully, to get them. So if you're interested, hopefully we get them in the next couple months so we can have them at the opening of the season. So, but
Yeah.
more to
And
come with that.
and he gave us a rough price point around about, so it's going to be somewhere around that $150 range. So it's about half of what
Yeah.
half or more than what others are
Yeah.
charging. And in my opinion,
Yeah,
I don't have live
that
scope.
depending on product price.
I don't know if it's me or you, Bailey, but you seem to be breaking up a lot.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Am I better now?
Yeah, a little bit better. But yeah, it
Sorry, guys.
definitely is a game changer. But in the market there, we've got two companies that do a lot of the same things, but yet again, they do a lot of different. So myself personally, I have a lot of Yak Gadget, and I have a lot of Yak Attack. So it just there's room for everybody, all the way around, because what one is producing, the other one's not, or one works better than the other. So it's good for everybody, all the way around. So
Yeah, and it's different.
anyway.
It's different price points too. And Yak Attack came out with some great things. They have a new lead. They called the leaderboard is coming out. That's going to be a great product for folks who want to utilize that new measuring board. We got to see the prototype of that. I think it's going to be a game changer for a lot of the anglers who want to be able to use that culling system on there, and then having two places to store an ID. I mean, they got new storage. I mean, they both offer just an unlimited amount of accessories for the kayak. So why not more the merrier? And one, you get to use the product code, discount code. The other one, we're going to be raffling and giving away the $20 coupons, kind of like how we did this year. And Curtis, man, I appreciate that. We got a lot of new things upcoming for this season. Well, I wouldn't say necessarily new as far as the tournaments go, but with the new sponsors, tournament stuff with the opens, that's something new that we're doing. We're going to try to, find a way for people who fish the monthly opens that don't qualify with the new standards we have for Angler of the Year and the championship standards. We're going to try to find a way for people who participate in our monthlies starting in October to kind of earn their way into the championship. So there's still more to come on that. We're still working out details. So we're just going to continue to do our job, keep our head down, and provide you guys with a great experience while competing in our events, and also other events across the state too. We want to see you guys out there doing good things. Jonathan made another post, or Jonathan Ellingwood. Hey guys, is the championship still on Mother's Day? I have a 4-year-old, and if I told my wife I'm going to fishing on Mother's Day weekend, I'd probably, yeah. So again, John, like we stated on the last live, we are working diligently on trying to find an alternative date for the championship. It hasn't changed yet, but again, we got to reach out to some of the other tournament directors in the state of Florida with Bass, Slay Nation, and a couple of the others to make sure that the day we choose does not fall on one of their tournaments, because that time is kind of in the middle of their season, since we start 2 months ahead or 3 months ahead of them. I think they don't start until January or February. So, yeah, more
Well,
to come on that.
the other flip side of it is, Jonathan, if you go and you win, Mama would be happy,
Yeah,
right?
it'd be a good payout. Well. You got first. You got to fish 5 events and then qualify in the top. You got to meet the standards. So I mean, if you're in the top 25, or what do we? Yeah, if you
Top
qualify, or
25.
not top 25. If you're the top, yeah. So if you are in the top in the AOI points and you qualify through the way that or into getting the championship, then it could be a good payout for you, because it's a
Absolutely.
little bit it's a little different standard to get in than it was this past year. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, it's it's kind of one of those things that, like a championships, you need to earn your way into them, right? So that's what we're trying to establish this year. I know last year it was a little bit different, but this year our goal is to make it something that it is a true championship, and everybody that's there, earn their way to get in there, to compete for
Yeah,
it.
and
So
that's through that's consistently participating in our monthly events. Again, like I said, we listen to you guys, right? This is y'all's club. We're just we're just the ones that are running it, making sure that it goes through smoothly, or at least as smooth as we can possibly make it. So if we get good feedback, then that means we're doing our job right. So far, from the majority, 98% of the folks, we've been given thumbs up to say, hey, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good job. I know we're not going to make everyone happy. Chad just posted a video. He's doing a lot of changes to kind of, clear some things up too with the KBF. We're not trying to make it difficult for anyone, but we do want to reward the folks that, consistently come out and support the club and fish these events. And if you fish well and you fall within that, the top percentile, or you might win an event, then you're going to get to, come out and participate in this championship. So it's going to be good for sure.
yep. Well, let me throw something in here. Here's a funny thing. When you have as many anglers as we do, like Chris said, you're not going to make everybody happy. There's just absolutely no way we can, right? And the thing on top of it is within the leadership here, because we're listening to you guys and we're trying to take what your feedback to us and what the majority feedback is coming through and making that work, right? And even for us as the tournament directors, there's some of us don't even like some of the stuff that we're doing, but it's the majority, rules on it, right? It is what
Yeah,
it is. So we just have to roll with it. I mean, like I said, we're not going to make everybody happy. There's just no way we can. But we're trying to do the best that we can to make this run smoothly and efficiently and
safely.
fun for everybody, right?
I think biggest part is safety, because we got more feedback on the feedback that we got. We were expecting to get more feedback, negative feedback on other rules that were changed. But it's all good feedback. Trust me, we're listening to you. And it's notes that we're taking down for next year. We are keeping. This is our second year. We're keeping a close eye on everything, every change that we made throughout this year. We're going to be looking through this with a fine eye to make sure that we next year, we kind of meet that middle, that kind of sweet spot, I should say. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time, guys. I mean, this past year was phenomenal. Each event that we did. Uh, yeah. So Curtis, you said no pre-fishing on Friday. Oh, yep. So can you explain the thoughts on this? Yeah. So with that pre-fishing, what we found out last year was a lot of people were complaining. They were like, "Oh, well, I caught fish in pre-fishing, but when Saturday rolled around, the fish weren't there." And we're like, Okay, well, did you go out there and sore-mouth all your fish the day before? And they're like, yeah, we get it. Fish are going to be where fish are going to be. They swim. They're not necessarily all resident fish, but there are some areas that hold resident fish. But oftentimes anglers go out and they know where a certain individual is going to fish, and that's the spot that they're going to fish. And they'll go, well, I'm not going to fish my spot, but I'm going to go over here and I'm going to fish. I'm going to catch everything and every fish that swims across and jack them. And then that hurts someone else who didn't fish that Friday, who was going to fish that spot. And they go there and they're like, well, crap, there ain't nothing here. Well, it's because this past week, someone has went in there and just sore mouth all the other places that they weren't fishing. So I know it's not going to make – it's not necessarily if you go out on Monday or you go out on Friday. You know what my honest opinion is, and I talked with this with the crew, and Todd alluded to it earlier, not everyone's going to be happy. I'm not necessarily – if I was to have the final say in it and it not being like a club or a group voting, I would have ended pre-fishing the Sunday before. So that keeps everybody off of the water from Monday to the start time. Why? Because that weekend, everybody has the ability to go fish, and then Monday through Friday, the water's off limits. So that gives time for the fish to kind of rejuvenate, get back, have an appetite essentially. Maybe it works at Tannerock. People don't fish Tannerock Monday through Thursday, and then Friday you go out there and it's like the feeding frenzy. That was kind of our thought process behind it. But again, we are monitoring this. If something happens, and we want you guys to go out to these bodies of water and catch fish. That's the main objective. If we're not putting you guys on fish on bodies of water when the fish are biting, we're not doing our job. You guys are going to want to come out and fish our events. If every event you come to, you're struggling to catch 5 12-inch fish. We've had this past year, when we looked at it, at the data, there was more than half our anglers that registered and fished an event. There was just a little less than half that would not catch a limit, or more than half that wouldn't catch a limit. So whatever we can do to promote you guys the opportunity to catch 5 fish and have a good time, we're going to try it. If it works, it works. There's other clubs that implement stricter off the water pre-fishing policies. I think that Friday before, if I was to put a poll out there, hey, how many of you guys actually pre-fish the Friday before the event? How many of you guys would raise your hand and say, I fish 100% of the time on Friday? It would be way less than half of our club. So that was our thought process on it, Curtis. Hopefully that answered your question. And Todd, if you'd like to add anything,
I think you explained it very well.
I also get what Curtis said. I think Curtis and good thoughts, but a person that travels only gets to pre-fish. Yes. Again, we put this schedule out now. We put out the bodies of water that we just didn't put dates to it until recently. But these lakes are out of there. They're not any lakes that we haven't fished before. I don't think there's any new lakes on our map or on our schedule that we haven't fished before or in a tournament. So other than, I think Penasofsky is one that wasn't on our schedule last year.
Harris Chain.
So Harris Chain. But again, these are all lakes that are accessible to us that live in the Central Florida. I think, Curtis, you live south. Was it South Florida? I think he lives in the South. But
I know
again,
Jonathan
that's
lives in the
what.
South.
Yeah. So I mean, that's my best. That's my best advice, or that's the best explanation I can give you. Okay, Chris. Yeah. So that's the best explanation I can give you for why we chose Friday. Would you guys been upset if we said, hey, the Sunday prior to tournaments, it's the end of pre-fishing? Because we could leave it up to a vote, but I mean, when I talked to the other tournament directors and admin, we've made the rules, and we didn't really want to kind of go back and make all these changes where we spent all the time to make it anyways, put time into the rules. We got this through feedback when we set it out before the end of last year anyways. And we just kind of went with what the majority of the folks had provided us, which led to that being one of the bigger changes. So what would your feedback be on Sunday being the last day to pre-fish? I think that would get an even more negative view on it, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of it come from just trying to help keep from people's spots getting burned up. Um, it happens. I mean, unfortunately, it does happen, and I've seen it not only here, but I've seen it all over in other areas. So I know a lot of other clubs have started cutting off their pre-fishing time earlier as well. And I think it's just something that's starting to be a trend as well. So, um, you know, this year we're going to try it,
Yeah.
see, and if we get a lot of feedback, next year we'll change it around.
So Amy,
And
I like what
Amy
you said
Brown,
about
yeah,
leveling out. So and that was my whole thought process behind it. So we can talk. I could talk about this for hours because I'm passionate about it. I understand you guys are paying $50 to fish our event. You're having to travel from out of county to come fish these events, kind of all over the state of Florida. Um, I I understand that. Trust me, I travel. Sean travels from Miami all the way to every single one of our events. We travel all over the state of Florida to put these events on, right? We're going to have to travel. We're still going to have to do everything that you guys do because we too fish in these events, right? And I would love to go out on Friday and pre-fish and enjoy it, right? Because that's that we get to have with our friends and folks on the water. My opinion would be cutting it off on the weekend prior, because that's a weekend. People who don't work or people who do work, you get that whole week. And then if people who work on the weekend, they can go up and fish that weekend before. And then that whole week, people who don't work can still go up there Monday through Thursday and they're off. So it kind of, and I think Doug Wilson mentioned that on the last live when we had it, and I went out fishing with him last week, and he mentioned it a little bit more and kind of alluded into it a little and explained it a little bit further. And I was like, you know what, it makes sense. And he kind of like sold me on that Sunday. But at the end of the day, I brought it back to the team, and we're like, hey, we're going to keep it where it's at. We're not going to take it back, but we'll monitor it. I'll tell you that. And yeah, I know, Chris. No, it's a good talking conversation. I know it sparked some conversation and maybe made some individuals up. But at the end of the day, we're gonna try out, and you guys keep providing the feedback. We're logging it. We're keeping this data, and we'll put it into emotion, or we can put it into effect for this for the 2025 season. And then it says David Myers, us up north had the same problem with the Southern Lakes. I preferred the Sunday before. So how about this? This is what we can do, right? And we can leave it up. We can leave it up for conversation, for for feedback purposes. I'll make a post on Facebook, and ask, hey, what if you don't care? There's going to be an I don't care button, a voting option. There'll be the Sunday prior in the infish, the Friday, or you can put there'll be a spot in there for you to put a feedback, and that'll be data that we take and we'll bring it to the table. Is that fair, Todd?
yep, we can do it. We can do it. So
is that fair? I mean, I think at the end of the day, I'll make a feedback voting post. Now I'm telling you right now, if you don't participate, change isn't going to happen, right? So if you don't put anything, if it's only 3 or 4 people that are complaining out of the 80, not complaining, voicing their opinions, that was the wrong word to say, people who are like concerned. I didn't want that. I wouldn't say that's complaining, but the folks that are actually on here with this conversation, participate in it so that we can make sure we get it right. Fair? I think that's fair. Yes, exactly, John. It's about fun and hanging out, with the folks. I go out there. We At the end of the day, I'm out here to have fun, enjoy fellowship and friendship with everyone, and put on a good event. We'll make a post. I'm going to do it right after this. So the folks that participate, I'll put a deadline on it for next Thursday live, and we'll talk about it then, because I think it's going to be a hot topic for the rest of the year if we don't kind of cool it or talk about it now. Doug Wilson brought up another thing. Personally, I think allowing power boats and guides during a kayak season is the biggest issue. Pre-fishing out of a kayak is hard work, a skill to be admired. Yes, it is definitely a skill to be admired. Yeah, and Robert, you put Thomas didn't pre-fish at all last season. That's true.
I didn't either.
Um,
Curtis put out a
so
good one. There's other clubs or other trails that are stopping pre-fishing 21 days before the event, but you can start back pre-fishing a week before the event. That is
yeah,
so true.
that's
But
the
one
major
reason why
trails.
we don't do this, that far out is because so many of our members also fish the Bass Nation and other events, and we don't want
Play
to,
Nation.
hamper the other events that they are fishing too, because we all fish multiple different ones, and we want to be able to do that. And that's why we figured, the Thursday before, or if people pick the Sunday before, whatever it is, we'll look at that. But we were just trying to make it fair for everyone, even those that don't get to fit pre-fishes either.
Yeah, yeah, because we understand a lot of our folks fish those 9 to 5s, 5 to 6 days a week, right? And their only day off is Saturday. So it, again, we'll put it out there, and then at the end of the day, whatever data we get back, we will talk as a club, and if it's in the best interest of the club, you guys, like, we'll make the changes that are accordingly, right? And we'll do so, and we'll inform the club before the season starts, so that everyone is squared away. Yeah. So, and the Mother's Day thing, we're already working on the May 11th date, John. I don't think a lot of folks want to get a divorce for going out and fishing our event. The $1,800 to $1,000 will not pay for the divorce. So, we'll look
and
at that.
and
So,
can I throw one thing in there though? We
yep,
are
yep,
also talking about a way of possibly scoring the fish for that weekend if, say, somebody may not be able to fish one day or the other. So that is also another option that we're talking about for the championship.
yes.
So
There could be a
that will
backdoor
still
way
give
for
you,
you to win the championship.
yeah, even if you only was able to fish one day. So
Yes.
going to make
There's
it
going to be some
interesting.
interesting things. There's going to be some interesting things, right? There might be some surprise mid-season all-star match where if you're in the top whatever, you might get to participate in a battle. We're not going to say much more, but there'll be more to come on that. That's going to be exciting. We're working on a lot of cool little things, but at the end of the day, guys, the biggest thing that I can say is participation drives our ability to do a lot of things, right? So again, myself, Todd, Sean, Chris Clutter, none of us get paid $1 for doing any of this. And the reason we do that is so that we can maximize our payouts. If you fished our events, you notice that I think 48 anglers was our highest tournament, and that was Stick Marsh and Felsman, our number one event. And then every event after that, we averaged around anywhere between 25 to 34 anglers. And then our championship, we had the lowest participation out of all the events in the regular season with 17 due to summer and conflicts with people's schedules, right? And our tournament that had 17 people in it had the highest payouts across the board because of us putting the amount of money back into it that you guys are, paying each month for that $50 tournament registration fee that you guys will be paying for each event. last year, was it 25 of that went into the payout for that event. So it was really good payouts, and we're going to continue to do that this year again. We don't. Todd has linked up with a bunch of folks up in the KBF Tennessee, where they actually judge our events. Their tournament directors judge our events, and we judge their tournament. So it's like a 1-for-1 swap. So that saved us $150 a month bill. So we were able to put that right back into the pot. So
Yep.
we're doing
Absolutely.
everything we can in our power to maximize the payouts for you guys. And
The
next
angler return.
year payouts are, yeah. So next year we're possibly going to cut the registration date out so that we can actually start paying the anglers out in cash at each one of our events. Yes, you will still have to collect, or you'll still have to annotate that on your 1099s that you get sent out from the club, and report that on your taxes. But our goal next year is, if it works out, is we want to do it like we did on the championship. The championship, you walked away with cash in hand, and that was good. The anglers love that, and it takes away the electronic payment system, and the fees associated with that. So,
And one thing I want to throw out there too is our payouts have actually been more than most any other kayak event that's been going on in the Florida area. So that's something to be pretty proud of for this club. Is we've had one of the highest payouts around, which is really, really good through our
and we're going to
events.
keep
So,
that. I mean,
and we're going to keep it.
I'm not in this. I'm not in this for any of the money. I'm in it to meet you guys and girls, and fish and make friendships. I mean, at the end of the day, we're here to make sure people want to come out and fish our events, and it ain't always about the money either, but it's a good incentive for folks to go out and sweat 9 hours a day on a kayak. To be honest with you, but at the end of the day, participation last year, it kind of brought me down a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. I was kind of a little frustrated, but because I thought maybe we were doing something wrong, but we appreciate the feedback when we made that post that, it was just scheduling conflicts and a lot of other things that kind of led to it. But hopefully this year we're able to, keep the participation up for each of the events throughout the season, so that we can continue that, and make that championship just something that, you guys are going to look forward to in the years coming. We linked up with Catch too. We didn't talk about this yet, but Catch, they have did something for our Angler of the Year this year. For the Angler of the Year trophy, Thomas Woodring is getting a sweet Catch Angler of the Year trophy that I'll post on the members only page. It's taken a little bit for us to get it to them, but it's just the name of the game. Their system went down, or their machine went down, but I'll post that on there. So that's something cool that you guys can look forward to. We're going to continue that for next year. I'm in the works with them on getting that developed, and something that's going to continue from here on out. So,
hey, Jonathan,
I'll send it.
I was going to say, just go to Fishing Chaos and look under the FKBT, the Florida Kayak Bass Trail, and you can sign up right there for the 2024 season.
Yeah, I'll send it to him right now. We have quite a few new members signed up too. Central Florida Bass Fishing, met him at ICAST. He's going to be signing up, I think, for our club. He messaged me. There's quite a few anglers that are out there that are registering. So that brings us to our next segment. If you guys are okay with us getting off of the rules, that took a little bit longer.
If you want to, I don't know if this will work, but if you scan that QR code right there, it will take you to the Fishing Chaos page to sign up.
So, Curtis, think about an FKBT All Stars versus the Northwest. Let's just say, hear me out. We'll talk about this actually, and I'll talk about this on here, and I'll just get your guys' feedback. FKBT. So you heard me talk about the All Stars, right? North versus South. If you guys notice on our schedule, championship says to be determined, right? There's no lake, right? So there's no lake assigned. I don't know what lake's going to be the championship. Todd doesn't know which lake is going to be the championship. None of us do, right? What we were thinking and something we could bring up and maybe talk with a bunch of the members on how do we decide where the championship is going to be held, on which body of water. With a 2-day event, is it going to be a chain where the north chain of the north side of the chains on Friday, on Saturday, and the south chain on Sunday, and splitting it up that way? Or do we do an all-star match to where it's like the top 20, the top 10 versus the 15 through or 11 through 20, and whichever side wins?
Odd versus even.
Oh, odd versus, okay, yeah. So it's odd. There's some format to where the top 20 or top 25 in Angler of the Year points at the midpoint of the season are going to go head to head with one another, and whoever wins the top whatever, they get to put a lake in a hat or in a drawing, a chain. It's going to be a chain of lakes, or multiple lakes, and it gets selected that way. But we're playing that by ear. But I do like a FKBT. Not, I wouldn't say versus, because we're not against any other club. We're not competing with any other club in Florida. That's just not what we're gonna do. Because I fish a lot of the other ones too to support, and quite honestly, I have really fun doing all of them. And so does Sean and Todd and all. Like, that's not what we're about. So I really like FKBT and FKBT All Stars versus the Northwest, just a Bass Nation All Star event, and going and battling out on a body of water for a weekend. So I like that idea. I think that would be fun. That would be a good way to, because a lot of our anglers fish. They're going to have to choose the All Stars. If they fall in the All Stars in a Bass and they fall in the All Stars in FKBT, they're going to have to choose which All Star team they want to compete against in that manner too. So let's talk about it, Curtis. Let's get with your guys with the Bass Nation, and you guys can get with us, and we'll talk over it. And I think that would be something cool and added to the mix, definitely, since we got two really good trails here in the state of Florida. So,
Hey, I'm just kind of curious what Robert's talking about here. Is he talking about the
for the championship?
Well, when will the new charter members be updated? Is that for the Fishing Chaos, or the membership this year be added to the members only page? Is that what we're referring to, or I'm not real sure.
Yeah.
So Robert, if you could type in exactly what you're saying, we'll do our best to answer that question for you.
But Curtis, send me a message and we'll talk. I like that. But again, the one thing I'll talk about that too. The one thing we got to be cautious of is we were having issues with participation. The new members on Fishing Chaos.
Yeah, so what happens, I know what Robert's talking about, I think, is if you go into Fishing Chaos and you click on the membership, it shows, like currently we have 33, but when you click on it, it shows the whole roster from last year as well.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to figure out how to drop that out.
We can't. I talked to Fishing Chaos. I talked to their like network guy the guy who runs Fishing Chaos, and he said that they don't have a function to where they can delete it. I will post a link of what 33 members are currently in the club. I can post those. But yes, unfortunately, you guys see everybody that was a member from last year and this year. But I think if you hit the little gear icon, you go to membership and you click the FKBT 2024 season, it'll show you the 23 that are there.
Yeah, what you do is you click the gear, go down to membership, and then member list, and then you got to go over and sort it to 2024. You got to have that little drop down menu on there.
Yeah, and I like what Doug says. Doug is he's been like a mentor to a lot of us kayak anglers here in Florida, and just recently he's taught me quite a bit in the short amount of time that we've been out fishing. And he's very knowledgeable. If you ever get the chance to go out and fish with Doug, but I like what he says here: fish the best lakes when they fish their best. right? So that's our job. Hopefully we did a good enough job, but again, weather and things change and can throw a wrench in a lot of the lakes during certain times of the year. But we put a lot of time, effort, and energy, and speaking to a lot of the different folks when we go out to these lakes on when these lakes fish their best, based on history, not last year, but based on history. And these dates are signed to those dates are in history known to be the right times, give or take a week or two. Okay, so Florida, I'm glad you brought that up, Todd. We need to get an actual image of the schedule and not a link. And we'll post that on the Facebook page
I
for
thought
you guys.
I thought I sent that to you.
It
I
was
can
just
resend it.
when I clicked on it myself, it was just a link, and I published that link on our members only page, and that might have caused some issues for folks. I didn't have the actual just banner like
Okay.
we did before. Jerry,
Yeah.
Florida Jerry, we'll send that to you. Thank you. Yep. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we'll get them the image. So, and Amy said when you look at it shows all the members. Yeah. So we can't. That's not on us. Unfortunately, I brought that up to Fishing Chaos, and they have it um, on their to do list on basically showing only current members and not past members. But yeah. Okay. Next order we were going to talk about was what, Todd? Because we're approaching that hour
Monthly
mark a little bit.
challenges. Monthly
Yes.
challenges.
All right. Monthly challenges, and I think that is pretty much all that we wanted to cover for this live. Next week we'll try to bring someone on to talk with you guys, one of our sponsors. So we'll work with that this week to try to get, or the rest of this week to get someone on. But to wrap up this live broadcast, we're going to talk about our monthly challenges. And to clarify anything, if you have questions on them, we are going to continue the monthly challenges. They're going to be open to the public. You do not have to be a member of the Florida Kayak Bass Trail to fish these monthly opens until October 1st. October, it will be only members only that can sign up for the FKBT monthlies. And that's because we're giving you guys an opportunity when you go out and pre-fish lakes or you're fishing other tournaments, that's going to be that's going to be a tournament that you can do monthly, and potentially earn a little bit of money to pay for some of the traveling or tournament entry fees that you have paid for. When you go out and you pre-fish and you catch good fish pre-fishing, but tournament day you kind of miss the mark. This is going to be a cool opportunity for you guys to be competitive in that way and potentially have a way to earn your way into the FKBT championship at the end of the year. So with that, the FKBT monthly open, the registration is open from the first day of the month until a week from the end of the month. It'll close that Monday, or no, that Sunday it'll close, and then so for that last week, that gives enough time for if you register registration, that gives it a week for the money to enter the bank. So at the very last day of the month, whenever it's over, that money gets sent directly to the first place winner. We're playing the top 10% of the monthlies. So right now it's first place. The first 2 months we've averaged like 9 to 11 people fishing them. So first place got $250 last month for 10 people fishing. So that's pretty good. Big Bass got $90, I think, or it might have been over 100, I think. But yeah, that's good payouts for that monthly. That's a good, tank of gas or whatever. Get your entry fee back pretty much, and your expenses for fishing for that weekend or whatever. So the monthlies, again, just know that if you miss, there's no registration cutoff like there is on KF until the last week. So I think there was a misunderstanding there. Everything else with the monthlies, it's $30 for the entry fee, $10 optional Big Bass, and we might change the entry fee for the when it becomes the regular season, or we might keep it the same. We're still toggling on what we're gonna do there, but we'll put a comment in the we'll put a post up on our members only page to get your feedback on what that monthly price should be. We don't want to charge something too much if people would pay if it was $20 versus $30. If it's $20 and that'll get max participation, then we'll make it $20. Again, we're not in it for any of the money. There is money that is, I think last month there was like $67 left over. That money goes into the savings account for the club and will be used towards the championship. So that's going to be another way for us to earn a little bit more money to go towards the championship at the end of the year. We're going to keep doing that so that you guys can get the most payout, bigger bang for your buck. But that's all I had.
Yep.
We appreciate you guys. We look for. Hold on, my throat. I talk too much. We look forward to this 2024 season. We are really excited about it. There's a lot of good things. We got a lot of great people in our club, a lot of amazing sponsors. Yes, we'll talk about that here in a minute, Curtis. We have some amazing sponsors that will be taking part in our club this year, and we're working on some other really cool sponsors. It's just that fiscal year 24 and 23 where we haven't gotten that decision made yet. So, Doug Wilson said, thought on monthlies, considering your sign-up timeline, the guy that wins the previous month can't start entering fish until after the 15th, even things up. Hey, Doug, that's going to be you this month. He's going to go out there and catch them. No, we're just going to keep it how it is. We might take away certain bodies in the regular season where there might be the monthlies might be limited to certain bodies of water. We're not sure on that. We might restrict certain fisheries just so that it kind of potentially even out the playing field. Maybe, I don't know. We might talk about it. We might just leave it how it is. But that's to talk. Yeah, so Florida Jerry said, I haven't signed up as a member yet, therefore I don't have access to the members page. Checking all trail schedules for next year to see what I'm going to fish.
Actually, I think it's also on not only on the members only, but also on our regular Florida Kayak Bass Trail, the open page. I just put it on that as well. Both.
So Florida Jerry, if you just type in on the Facebook search bar, you spell out Florida Kayak Bass Trail, you will see our public page that has it's what you're watching right now if you're watching on Facebook. It should be up at the top. So, yeah, that's all. There's a lot to come with this with this monthly challenge. It could be an opportunity where, it's your best 5 fish, your best 10 fish. It could be unlimited aggregate length, like the Smash, that Smash tournament that's on Fishing Chaos that a lot of these Florida anglers are doing. We're gonna see potentially if Strike King might want to get involved with our monthlies and kind of hopefully do the same thing that they're doing with the Smash. That's not set in stone. That's something we're going to talk with them about and see if they're interested in it. But yeah, that's the route that we will potentially go with the monthly if it's changing the format around. But then Doug just said you don't want the same guy winning every month. Yeah, that might be the reason why we challenge or change some of the lakes and making the monthlies fishing certain bodies of water instead of folks' honey holes, making them get out and potentially just use it as a way. If the lakes are on our schedule, they're open for the monthlies. And that's the bodies of water you fish. So that kind of encourages you guys to go out and pre-fish some of those bodies of water ahead of time, maybe. But I don't know. Again, that's what we're looking at. And we will take that feedback too and give it a try for certain months. But yeah, hopefully that answered your question. Thanks, Zachariah, on the schedule. Yeah, we tried to do a good job on getting it timed up. But one last pitch, and then we're gonna get you guys off of here, and we'll meet you guys back here on Thursday. We need you guys to spread the word, right? We're doing as much as we can, but at the end of the day, we need our members, we need folks watching this to share our Facebook page, share that when you're on Fishing Chaos and you register for an event, or if you signed up and registered for the club, hit that share. Say, hey, if you got friends or family members or coworkers that are interested in kayak bass fishing or wanting to get into bass fishing and competitively, send them our Facebook information, send them our email. We'd love to get in contact with them and get them a part of our club. But word of mouth is pretty much the only thing we have right now in Facebook and our social media platforms, and that's pretty much it. So we really are banking on you guys to get out there. If you have a YouTube channel, plug us in it. And when you guys are out there making your videos on the water during tournaments, plug it in there. You guys have a much larger reach than myself, Todd, or Sean. So yeah, bird is the word, right? That is the best way to get involved. Todd did make business cards. Todd, do you want to show them the business cards real quick?
Yeah, we've got some business cards that we can actually give out to all of our members. So there's a card. It shows, our club. It's how to join. It's got all of our contacts on the back part of it. So, if anybody needs any, reach out to me. I'll be happy to get some to you. That way y'all can share them out, whatever.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
Yeah, and if you guys are on other Facebook groups, kayak bass fishing Facebook groups, yeah, share. We encourage you guys to share our brand, share our tournament series with others. The more we get involved, in our opinion, is good, and that's not being selfish. I mean, they get involved in kayak fishing in general. It doesn't matter which club or trail. Just getting people out there and fishing and enjoying what Florida has to offer is probably the most important thing out there, right? Definitely in the world we live in today, getting outside and just getting fresh air and doing something in nature is good for the soul and the mind and the body. So that's the main thing. And we're looking forward to 2024 for sure. Next week, we'll go live again on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time here on Facebook and YouTube. If you guys haven't already, please like and share this video. Go on our social medias, like, share on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get updates whenever we do go live, or any of our members post any videos with our YouTube as well. It'll notify you. So that's all I have.
And Scott, just message me your address and I'll get you some in the mail.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and yeah,
cool.
That's good. We about an hour, 8 minutes over, but that's okay. We had a good conversation with the time, or the, what do they call it? The
sponsors?
Fishing? No, the fishing.
Chaos?
No.
Community?
Pre-fishing. Oh man, I had a brain freeze there. We had a good conversation with the pre-fishing. So I will get on Facebook here in a minute, and I will create the voting option for the members. So, Gunnersville.
What's up, Brandon?
Gunnersville.
Brandon, that's our buddy from Nashville. He jumped on here to watch it. Yeah.
Hey, well, we're about to hop off. It is 7:00 his time though, so he's jumping on right at the end. Sorry about that, Brandon. We'll have to get you caught up to speed. But I know Curtis did mention the native big bass, the No Limit tournament that's going on Gunnersville and Wheeler, starting August 20, or it is on August 26th. If you guys haven't signed up for that already, I know myself, Sean, are going to be traveling up there to fish it. Go on Fishing K, or no, it's on Tourney X. Type in the native big bass No Limits tournament. Get registered. It's $125. And they do hourly big bass payouts, $1,000, and then they're doing prizes and money prizes for total inches caught, like unlimited. So I'll be there. So looking forward. If you guys are there, hit me up and we can go have dinner or something. I'll be leaving on the 22nd and pre-fishing the 23rd up until the tournament. So that's all I got. We appreciate you guys coming out and spending the last hour with us. Again, Todd, I appreciate you coming on. I know you got your 10 minutes past due on your grocery, on going to the store. So
It's all
I'm sorry.
good.
I'm
It's all
sorry.
good.
But tight lines, and we will see you next Thursday at 7.
All right, guys. Good to see y'all. Have a great rest of your week and a great weekend. Tight lines.
Yep. Later.